Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I picked up an older set the other day from my local Bricksville for a whopping $25. It is the, at this point, nearly vintage A-Wing fighter. Taking a closer look at the stats, this one is number 6207 with ages 7 through 12, A-Wing fighter for 194 pieces. It originally retailed for $16, which gosh, I'm just shocked that I didn't have this one because of this. As I said, it came out in 2006, and nowadays if you want it used, you're going to pay $24, and new is going to be $83. So I definitely am right within the threshold of $24, and I'd say even a little bit better of a deal because this came with the box, which is pretty cool. Loved these old sets. Super fun. Now before we get into the set itself, let's take a look at the two minifigures we have. Taking a look first at our Rebel Technician, and this is right on the cusp of LEGO turning the LEGO Star Wars franchise all nougat color skin tones. So we've moved away from the yellow of the more vintage era, but we still have these simple faces, and this carried on from 2005, 2006, and I believe it started changing in 2008 when they started adding eye whites as well as the more detailed Clone Wars faces. So we do get a few more years of plain smiles, and I just really like this era, just the simple dot and grin, and a lot of characters had this face, any extras. So as you can tell, we get that again with the Rebel Technician, and he's wearing all gray, and he has a skateboarder helmet, and this has always been a funny thing to me because I mean, he looks like he could go skating at the skate park at any time after his shift. And he does look quite different than the very original Rebel Technician that came out in the original A-Wing. I do think the original one is a little bit better, but nonetheless, we have this guy, and I just love his simple smile. Next up, we have our A-Wing pilot, and he's got sort of a NASCAR racer helmet. That was pretty common for pilot helmets back in the day. But this one extra so because it has the actual like race car chin strap thing. But anyways, he does have the same exact smile as the Rebel Technician, and he has a green jumpsuit with a gray and black chest plate, as well as some detailing on the top of the helmet, which is nice and printed. And they did not have any back printing, and leg printing was very rare at this time, so what you see is what you get. So I do want to give you guys a look at this set and also compare this A-Wing with a couple other A-Wings I have in my collection. I thought that might be fun, so we will do that towards the end. So we'll start with the small build first, which is this, I don't know the technical term for it, but basically like little train thing, little trolley or a tram that can take the pilots to their ships. It also, I like how it's two-part with a hinge. That's actually really fun, and I've not seen that build personally before. We have a ladder on the back, which makes sense because they can just back it up, and that's how the pilot can get into their ship since it's taller. You can fit characters in the back or equipment, which is fun, and then there's a seat for the driver, and we have these little sticks, which I think works great for showing that he is controlling this little tram. So he just fits in just like so, and you can kind of move the sticks around so that they go in his hands, and I really like that. Unfortunately though, with this era of LEGO, they didn't have the foresight to not stud the base that the character is sitting on because it pulls up the minifigure's legs every single time. Oh, of course, except for the time I'm recording. Every time I've done this, it has pulled, there we go, pulled up the minifigure's legs if you're not careful. And so that's sort of annoying. It's the same problem within the A-Wing, and this was just a little bit before, you know, LEGO started just tiling off that section for the minifigures or only making it 2 studs because it does get kind of annoying, and I've messed up his little controls there. But I really like that he can sit there, and then you can have the A-Wing pilot, you know, in the back going over to his ship and boarding. So that's a fun play feature, and I think a good inclusion. And then, of course, the main build of the set that you'd be getting back in 2006, we have the A-Wing. I think it looks pretty good overall. I do not have the most updated A-Wing, so I guess I can't really compare it in that way, but I think for its time, this looks great. We do have a couple of stickered pieces here on the front and then off to the sides on each end. There is a play feature where these can turn. I guess that's nice. You can, you know, shoot up or down. And so there we go. This was the day before flick fire or missile launching, so we just, I mean, unless you got like a special big giant launcher, you pretty much were just at imaginative play for this. And then inside the cockpit, as I said, we do have the same thing where since it's studded at the bottom, the character gets stuck. And then we have a little homing computer, which is kind of funny because that, oh yeah, okay, I was seeing it as an airplane, but it definitely looks like it's the top of an Imperial Star Destroyer. So it's like the bridge, so that's cool. And then on the back, this can lift up, and you don't get a crane element, but you do, you know, you can pull it up on your own. It just is interesting that it comes with this loop, but there's no crane that could, you know, pick it up, at least in this set. There's nothing inside, which I was actually kind of surprised at. They didn't at least put, I mean, they didn't put anything in it. So anyways, I guess you could just use your imagination there. And then we have some built up sides to make the wings, if you will, of the ship, or the foils in the back, I suppose is a better word. And I do like the engines. I think those look nice. And then you have this that does nothing. I don't know why that's there. It is hinged on with a Technic pin, but it spins but doesn't actually do anything. So there we are. That's pretty much it. I think the coloration on this one is really good. And I mean, other than the fact that they are stickers, which since I got mine used, they're peeling slightly in the corners. It shouldn't be an issue moving forward because I don't play with my sets. I just display them. But overall, I think it's pretty good. And let's go ahead and compare this one to the other A-Wings that I have in my collection. All right, here we are with my A-Wings, and I just love doing these comparisons. So my 2006 A-Wing fighter is in the center, my 2013 A-Wing starfighter is off to the side, and then our, I think this was 1999 or 2001 era, very vintage A-Wing, obviously is going to sport the biggest difference. But overall, I think it looks really cool. It's super fun to see these guys all together. Here's a bit of a better look. So we have printed tile, stickers again. More stickers on 2013 to give more detail. But overall, the builds on them are relatively similar. Obviously, they improved and, you know, weren't as blocky next time, but looks pretty good. We got flick fires on this. I think this one looks worse in terms of the missiles. I like these much better. There's the engine thrust on all three. It's yellow, so I really like that. And we have a hinge in the back of this one, a hinge in the back of this one, and this one is just stationary. So there we are. Here are the ships with the cockpits open. And our 2013 A-Wing pilot is definitely my very favorite, followed by our 2006, and then our early vintage guy right there. All look really cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the 2006 A-Wing fighter. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.